Hi, my name is John. Welcome to the first in possibly a two-part series of videos all about the latest software and the latest upgrades that Rob from Xtreme Plasma is now incorporating in the latest tables. I sent the control box, the PC and the Z-axis away to Rob at Xtreme Plasma. It come back, the Z-axis has been modified. There's actually a new little PC, modified control box. I fitted it on at the table, a little bit of wiring, nothing out of the ordinary, simple enough to do. Really good, comprehensive instructions. I quite enjoyed doing all the mods. It gives us a good chance to tidy things up. I've stopped using the console and I bought a little cupboard, not an expensive cupboard, I'll show you that. So all the stuff now was inside there, away from all the nasty sparks and dust. This is the little cabinet I bought. It comes sort of flat packed. It didn't take much putting together. Screen on there, keyboard, mouse and mouse pad, and I put the stop switch on there, the e-stop button. That's very important so you can get to that. It's got a drawer here which as usual is full of my shite, but you can keep all your nozzles in there, your welding screens, all your consumables, things you don't want to get dirty. I open the cupboard door, the control box is in there. That's a new little PC, quite an incredible little thing. Everything's out of harm's way. It gets quite warm in there with the heat off this, so I've put my welding rods in there to sort of keep warm and dry out. I'm really pleased with this setup. I should have done it years ago. I'm still using the Artec 50 amp plasma cut I've had for a long time. I think I'm possibly going to get one of the new ones and do a review on that, but this has been no problem at all. It's been a good little cutter. Originally I had the PC screen mounted onto the wall up here somewhere. It didn't take as long to realise it wants to be there because you're sitting here, you're working your PC and there's no neck strain, it's absolutely spot on. So I'm going to take that off and get a desk mount for it. I have played with the software, I've read the tutorial. There's loads of tutorials online to show you how to use the MyCam software. I do fancy a weekend away, so the wife and I are going to go down to Gloucester, call it Rob's factory, and Rob's going to give us some one-on-one tuition on this software because he knows it inside out. And I'm going to ask questions, the sort of questions that you don't find being asked on YouTube videos. I'm going to ask not stupid questions, but how do you do this, how do you do that? And Rob will hopefully show exactly how it's done. In the second part, I'm going to go more in the mechanical side of thing, the latest upgrades on the newer tables he's building. The thing is, I started off with a 2-foot square table, a really little one, and I progressed up to a 2x4. It's got all the latest updates on it, carriages, stepper motor drives, loads of different bits and pieces, and now I've got the latest software. So this 8-year-old table is up to date. That's the way he's designed them. Everything is it retrofitted, so you can go back to the first table and something off the first table will fit something on the last table. That's obviously my table, 2 foot by 4 foot, in exactly the same place as it was. I've got some wiring to tidy up, the blow wire, that's the new ohmic sensor. That's the thing it does away with the old-fashioned torch height control. That is really, just that in itself is a game changer. I've just shown the table setup I've got now with the new software in. I've actually got to run down to Gloucester to come and see my friend Rob at Xtreme Plasma, and I'm going to get a little bit of a sort of tutorial how to use the software. The tutorial that comes with the software is pretty good, but you can't really beat one-on-one with somebody that knows what they're talking about. So I'm sure Rob's in here somewhere. We'll have a look, see if we can find him and see what the day brings.
Hello, John.
Hi Rob, how are you doing?
Mate?
Yeah.
Thanks for coming down. Nice to see you.
Pleasure, yes, anytime.
Yes. So, welcome.
Well, it's a bit of an Aladdin's cave, being a welder. I'm sort of, and a motor mechanic. I'm amazed at how much stuff you've got in such a small space.
We've got everything.
Yeah, I have, yeah.
And
so you're stocking the Artec stuff?
The Artec stuff.
Power weld stuff as well?
The new range is fantastic.
So you actually stock these units as well?
Yeah, I got them in. So what we do is we've got them in stock, so people come to our shop, they can take them away.
That's good.
That's what that's about. Because I don't like So, you know, like with some shops, they advertise that they can drop ship and all that. We like it so people can come out, we can talk about the welding equipment. They're happy, they take it away.
Yeah, that's good.
That's what. So
that's
what we got.
But you're still more plasma cutter.
Plasma cutting is our core.
Yeah.
That's our roots.
Yeah.
And also engineering is our roots.
Yeah, of course.
as well.
That's what you did for years, you know. Yeah.
So it's been a while. So we are expanding the range as well to engineering tools, which are coming very soon.
Yeah. I mean, I must admit, I've got these 2 machines at home.
Great machines.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Great display machines.
Yeah.
So, like I said, if you want a MIG, you've got a MIG. Got the TIG, and then if you want an all-in-one with everything, you've got the Powerwell machine. Yeah. So everything's covered just with these 3 machines. Yeah. So I'm guessing you come down today for the training.
It's more, I want to find out how to use this. I've had a little play with the software, but I want to know how to use it properly.
I'll show you, but I don't know about it properly. So this is the 2x2 table, where we use this for shows, displaying, just training here, right here. And this is also the table you started with. This size table.
I did it too.
So
yeah.
It's amazing because I show people the 2x2 table, and then I said that's the table, and then we go out to the workshop and I go, that's the 4x4, and they go, I didn't know it's that big.
Yeah.
It's surprising what you think a 4x4 table is, like as in 4 times as big as this.
The thing that surprised me was the difference in cost between a 2x2
really,
and a 4x4.
Yeah, there's really not a lot in it.
Because it's only bits of metal, really.
Yeah, it's where the costs come involved is just really the electronics.
Yeah, I mean,
stuff. I mean, a little bit extra material is here or there.
Now, I've had my table for sort of nearly 8 years now, and I could take a leg off my table and it would bolt straight in there.
Definitely.
So
definitely. I've never changed the fundamental design, and one of the reasons I did that is to make it always backwards compatible. So if we ever did any updates, so any mechanical changes or anything like that, I knew I could go back to table 1 and it would work. And instead of keep buying new tables.
So you don't get somebody buy a 2-foot table and say, I'm going to buy an 8-foot table, then modify that.
Yes, you could do it that way. I've never had one that way, but it's mainly someone's had a 2x2 and straight away, and they got to a 4x2. Yeah, that's always because when someone says, I want a 2x2, and I go, are you sure you really want the 2x2?
Yeah, because
you haven't got the space. Yeah. You know, the area to cut. So it's usually 4x2 is the bare minimum. But from the 4x2, we've had people go from 4x2 to 4x4.
Yeah.
But you're not spending thousands of pounds doing it. That's the thing. I mean, you go to other competitors,
because it's the same set of motors, same torch.
Everything's exactly the same.
Same software, same PC.
Everything's exactly the same. Like I said, if you go to a different competitor, they will say, "Oh, tough. You got to buy a bigger table."
Yeah.
So, like I said, we do the 4x4 to the 8x4. Yeah. That's where the value comes in.
Right.
And like I said, because we made everything backwards compatible, anything new, I let people know on our Facebook group, which is Xtreme Plasma, is on the Facebook group. Yeah. And I keep people updated. That's where we are. But today, we're going to teach you the new software.
Mine's been updated. I've played with
yes.
the software a little bit.
Yeah.
I really need you to show me how to.
It is. I find it a lot more simpler than the old Mac 3 and SheetCam. Now, SheetCam is still a great piece of software.
Oh yes,
you can still use SheetCam on this table because it's got some extra features. But 90% of the time, most people don't need all those extra features.
No, you just want to know how to cut what it cuts.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll get you to sit here, and I will go through the buttons and everything to get you going on your first job. Yeah. And then everything really is a repeat from that.
Falls into place.
Yeah.
Right, Rob. So I know this screen. I've seen it before. Where do we go from here?
Okay. You got 2 icons. You got one on the top left, which is the My Plasma software, and then we also got one in the bottom toolbar.
Right. Yep.
Because if you've got stuff on the screen, you can't always see it, so it's in the bottom toolbar. Except the account, user account, and then the software startup. All we got to do is make sure the control box is on.
Yep.
And then we go to the top right, and we turn it on. So is communication okay? We're ready to go.
So that's the PC talking to the control box.
Yeah.
So the table's now all.
It's all ready to go. So like I said, what we need to do now is just move the torch somewhere near the stops. You don't have to. I just do this because it's quicker then.
Is this to zero the torch?
Yeah, we're going to zero the machine up. But this is just quicker because it runs slower when it's homing. And then we will just press the home XYZ button, which is just up here.
So that brings the torch to its home position.
Yep. So with the new software, new features, it homes the Z. So again, the older machines we had, some of the customers, they would take the torch up too high and they would crunch the motor. You can hear it.
I've stuck down in case, yeah.
And then what can happen then is the whole torch will drop because you've fallen off the
off the end of the rack.
Yes. So that's what's happened. Okay, so now it's homed, so that's good. We're bringing a drawing, so it's the third icon across, which is import file. Now all these steps I'm showing you are in my step-by-step guide I've done in the new paper manual.
Right.
So I've done a paper manual because
paper manuals are good, but it's still better when somebody. Yeah.
But because I'm showing you.
Yeah.
Now, once you've got the paper manual, you'll then follow the steps. So what I'm showing you now is the steps to get you going.
Steps to get you going. Yeah.
So third icon across. We've got a shape already in now, which is a simple square and circle.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Okay. We're going to send that now to the cam. So that's what it does. That's sent it now for processing.
Right. Okay.
So think of this as the old sheet cam.
Sheet cam. Yeah.
You sent it in for processing.
Right.
Because we've got the my mini cam module on.
Okay. Right.
Yes, the tick is yes, that's the job. Yes, everything's correct by just quickly looking over the lead-ins. To be fair, most jobs you bring in, you just press.
It will be right.
It'll be ready.
Yeah.
So as you can see, it's got the lead-ins already done for you.
Yeah.
It's ready. So we will now move this torch to anywhere on the plate where we can fit this size shape in.
Right. Okay.
So pressing the arrow keys moves the torch. Pressing the shift and the arrow keys will speed it up a lot quicker.
Yeah.
And you will see this crosshair come up. That is identifying your torch.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. So if you use the middle mouse button, you can zoom out and you can see the table extents where we are on the table in the relationship to the material.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Because you can move the job to suit. So you can actually move the job.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. to suit that. Or you can move the torch to suit the material. You got
bottom left-hand corner is the normal starting point.
Yeah, which is this position,
position. That's where the torch is going to start.
So now from here, we'd select the material.
Yeah.
Select the material. So
thickness. Yeah.
You like using 30 amp.
Yeah, 3mm 30 amp.
Yeah. Okay. Also, you would set your Z height.
Right.
So you bring it down to touch the plate.
Right.
Okay. And then you would press the other button, Z equals 0.
Okay.
So
that's
because that will then tell the machine if there's no plate there missing, because if it can't find the plate within like if it's over a hole. So if it tried to reposition itself and you've got a hole there and it goes, there's no plate there, it would stop for you. So it's got some safety features built in.
Right.
So it makes things a lot easier. So we'll just press play. And then we just press play and it'll go.
So what about your torch head control?
That is all built in.
It does it automatically?
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it.
So there's no more little knobs and little boxes?
No, you can play with it a little bit more if you want to, but
you wouldn't want to? No. You just want to cut. Well, I just want to cut things up.
If you put 0 into where it says cutting height on the THC, so 0, that makes it fully automatic.
Right.
That just takes all the guesswork.
Yeah. So that torch will stay at 1.6mm or above it?
Yeah, well, it will fluctuate between, it'll be 1.6, but the Z will rise or lower depending on where the plate is in position.
Yes. That's it?
That's it, done.
That's it, right.
That was...
Right, I want to make that bigger.
Yeah, okay.
How can I make that shape?
Okay, we will go back. So
50% bigger than what it is?
Yeah, so go back to the import.
Right.
That's our job still in there.
Yeah.
Over here we've got a scaling tool.
All right.
So click on that. So it tells you your current size, which was 100 by 100.
Yeah. I want
now this is, it will always go by the outside of what the shape is. If you select, you can select a piece of the job. So like the circle. So you can actually modify this in the cam.
So you can make a circle bigger
or smaller. So like if you did a job and the bolt you did wouldn't go through.
Yeah.
It was just a little bit tight and you think,
you make it a little bigger.
Yeah, so we can go there. So click on there and I want that 51. And it would now just make that 51.
So suppose the drone was a horse or a wagon and I wanted to make the whole thing.
Yes, okay.
Would you proportionally make it bigger?
Yep, so let me go back to find some example files for you. So we've got quite a few example files already for testing.
These are just for...
Yeah, these are testing
practice,
files. So it's
the horse, yeah.
Okay, we'll send that to the machine. From here, the horse is already in here.
Yeah.
So press the scale button. At the moment, this current size is set to 144.12. So if I want to make it 300,
make it 300.
yeah. Click on the number.
Yeah.
Go 300. And that now will rescale.
So that stretches.
Yeah, as you can see,
it stretches
it's
the
out of this
wide.
table extent as well.
It's too big for the table.
Yeah, and that's what that red marker is.
That's good. That's what you need to know.
So we could then rescale it and go, all right, and
Make it 280. Yeah, or what, enough, just enough to get it into what you've got to play with.
So just in 270.
Yeah, 270.
And that's it. And press the tick, and obviously where the torch is, it's saying you can't cut it from where the torch is at the moment.
So you've got to move the torch.
So you've got to move the torch.
Yeah, that's it moving there.
Yeah. So move the torch to where you would want on the plate.
Which is normally bottom left hand corner.
Yeah. So you could put the torch there still.
Yeah.
So if you had a piece of material there, it doesn't have to be right in that corner.
Yeah.
Is it right? And it would bring it in.
Yeah.
And then you would just press play. And off you go.
So it shows you which part it's cutting.
So again, you can stop at any time.
It's certainly easy. It's easy on Mark 3. It's simple. It's not it's telling you nothing you don't need to know. It tells you enough. That's all you need. All I need to know is enough to make it work.
Yeah, that's it. It's just made it simplified.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have to be rocket scientists to use these machines. I mean, there are other machines out in the market, and I think that some of their software is such a fluff. It's like, oh, you're not into it. People just want to cut. So we can stop that, and we can also forward it to parts.
Yeah.
So again, if they're forwarding or reversing.
So you can anywhere on the drawing.
Yeah, if something's gone wrong.
So something went wrong.
You want to change a tip or something.
Yeah, the tip load or something where you lost your air pressure. Yeah. You could stop and go back.
Yeah. So you just go back to any part. Like I said, it's that does make the difference. Now, one of the key features as well, like for argument's sake, if you're going to make this out of 10mm plate, the chance of you making this out of 10mm plate is well, it's one of those. If you want to make it out of 10mm plate, I'm not going to stop you. But what happens with plasma? If you got a 45 amp machine, really you are nearly at the top end of piercing.
To blow the initial hole through.
Yeah, because if you had a 100 amp machine, it's got more power to blow the molten metal through.
Yeah.
But because we've got 45 amp machines, what we can do to limit any problems is we can press the mark start points button, which is at the top.
Right.
So this is like the traditional pierce thick plate.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So with that button on, if we just start from the beginning, if we press play, it would go to all the piercing positions.
Right.
And just pierce.
So then you could scrape the dross off.
Yeah.
And cut it when it would.
So so like you just said.
Yeah.
You've done all the piercing, so you can use an older tip if you want to, because what kills tips
is piercing.
Is piercing. Cutting, not so much.
Yeah. So it's going to put all the pierce points in, and then it'll cut it.
Yeah. So it'll finish at the end.
Yeah.
And then you would take that mark start points off. So we'll just press stop. Take the mark start points off. Go back to the beginning, and then you would carry on cutting again. So because the hole's already there, it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, so it hasn't got to blow the hole through, so it's not likely to jam a torch when it moves.
No, and it makes it so much easier to cut thicker plate materials. I said, once you're cutting thick plate materials and the tip is damaged, you will then see the part will have angles on it.
Yeah,
it's because the tip is damaged.
Yes.
You know, and people keep changing tips,
The plasma arc, it's a teardrop shape arc, so you do get a taper.
You do, but it's because you haven't had all that molten blow back onto it. Yeah. You're going to save your nice clean tip for cutting, so you get a lot better.
So you could pierce your holes with an old tip, put a new tip in, and it wouldn't damage the tip to the extent it does piercing.
Yes, because I said piercing. So you can use some older tips you've had, like the cut quality's not as good as what you want it to be, but use them for piercing.
It's the same with oxy-fuel cutting. Once you get the hole through, it's easy. Basically, you can turn things right down then.
Well, like I said, a lot of the plasma cutters really can cut a lot thicker material. It's that initial
start.
It's that hole.
If you start on an edge, you can cut, Very good.
So that's the general little bits of that software.
Yeah.
And what other features would you like to know?
I've kind of got enough to get by to do what I want to do. can I, obviously I've downloaded this program on my house PC, so I can draw something at home in the house and then go into the workshop.
Yeah, but it's the same.
Just use a dongle, yeah?
Yes, yeah, exactly.
USB-stick.
Exactly the same as what you've been doing
been
before.
done before.
There's nothing. This is just the software end of it. The drawing side of it is
So
never changed.
I can still draw an machine shop. I can get my friend to send me a
DXF file,
DXF, and go straight in.
Straight in.
And I don't need to use sheet cam, and I haven't got to use Mac 3 anymore.
No, I think Mac 3, it was a fantastic program.
I think one of the big features of this is the touch head control, because everybody struggles with touch. They do. They just wing it. Well, it's 120 volts would be all right.
I know it like the back of my hand.
That's your job, yeah.
But I can understand some of the frustration.
You do a trail cut and you watch your voltages and you aim for that.
Yeah.
And it's just, but this is so.
But one of the main things what people were struggling with the torchlight control is they didn't realise they had dross in the shield.
That's right.
So if you had dross in the shield, it would give you false readings. So the torch would crash because it's actually shorting out.
But now
this software will tell you there's an alarm that comes out and it will always say ohmic.
That's right.
And that is because there's a problem and it won't run.
When I first started, I rang you up and you said, and I changed the tip and you fixed it.
Yeah. That's so it's got like these little extra features which Mac 3 doesn't have. If Mac 3 was still supported, I'm sure it'd be good. But this is a dedicated plasma program.
If things move on, this is for plasma cutting. Mac 3 is years on the machines.
If this was out 5 years ago, this would be on it. If this program was to this level 5 years ago, it would be on our machines.
Yeah.
But that's why I can offer it as an upgrade to all existing machines.
Right. Well, that's the idea.
Yeah.
Doing mine. I mean, mine went from 2 foot to 2x4. Then it had the new starter motor mounts on, carriage mount, and now we've got the new software.
Yeah. When you've got a design in and you want to show it to a customer, you can actually show what actually it's going to cut like.
Yeah. That's what it's going to be. Oh, that's good. That's clever. Yeah.
Just another inbuilt feature.
Yeah.